Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, downloading, just taking a listen to the podcast. This is the Whoacast. A bit late getting this one out again. I'm still getting used to Logic, and this one was new for me because I actually set up 3 microphones plus my own microphone, so 4 microphones total for this episode so that I can kind of capture everybody's voice. So I had to spend a little bit more time with it. And also, I had to just think about how I was going to frame this episode I'm putting up today. It's a bit of a doozy. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. We'll get into that in a minute. What I did today, I woke up, I did my thing, I checked Facebook, I checked Twitter, all that stuff, and I see all these posts about the Super Bowl and the halftime performance yesterday. And this is all I want to say about this. At first everybody's like, oh, it was such a great show. It was a great performance, yada, yada, yada. Nice to hear somebody singing again. And then 10 minutes later, I see a bunch of, my friends who are musicians just knocking them down. Like, no, it wasn't real. No, that was fake. And then sure enough, the best thing I saw was there's a picture, a screen grab that somebody took off of ESPN of Flea, and his bass doesn't have anything plugged into it. No cord, no DI box, no wireless system, no nothing. There's nothing plugged into that bass guitar. So everything you were hearing was just pre-recorded music. It fascinates me that people can still fall for it sometimes because maybe they let some things slip through. It sounded like, from what I heard, maybe they let Bruno Mars's voice cut through once in a great while, but pretty much the entire thing is pre-recorded. I mean, it goes to that whole thing that I've been talking about recently, and I've talked to a bunch of my friends about this, is that there's no real left to it. There's no danger left in rock and roll, and I think that's why rock and roll as we know it is on the decline, because that's not what people want right now. They're not interested in going to see sweaty dudes with guitars. I mean, some people are, don't get me wrong, there's still great shows out there, but it's not what's in the popular mainstream culture. Me, I like going to a club. I like seeing dudes, girls, whoever, someone with a guitar making some loud noises, making some noises that might not be pre-programmed, that might just be off the cuff. They might not even be necessarily in tune all the time, but they're speaking through their instrument. That's what I like seeing. The stuff that you see now isn't people talking through their instruments. It's just this prefabricated, show is all it is. You might as well just be watching it on TV, because even if you were there live, you're seeing exactly the same thing. You're not experiencing anything natural, anything humanistic whatsoever. But enough about that. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I don't watch it. It was on. I'm at my parents' house in Michigan, and I think my dad put it on. He didn't even know the game was on this year, which he follows sports more than I do. But it was on, but it was in the other room, and I just never even bothered to watch. I think I heard when the halftime show came on, but I checked out within 2 seconds. I didn't really pay attention to it. Today I have Masked Intruder on the episode. So the way this came about, I'm trying to do a podcast with Matt Allison, who, if you don't know who Matt Allison is, he runs Atlas Studio in Chicago, and it's an awesome studio. He's done amazing work with so many of my personal favorite bands. He's worked with Lawrence Arms, Alkaline Trio, Dan Vapt and the Cheats. He's just worked with a whole bunch of great people and put out awesome recordings. Well, Matt has a busy life. Some things came up and we weren't able to do ours, but it happens to be that Masked Intruder is recording the new record at Atlas right now. So Matt asked if I would want to come by and do one with them, and I said, sure, let's do it. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. I was trying to talk myself into, look, I really don't want to do the whole, character interview and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't really know what to expect when I went in there and how strict they were going to be about, I need to stay in character and all that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out they're really strict about it. I got to meet them as they are, normal dudes, when I first showed up, and we hung out for a few minutes and talked to them, and they're absolutely great guys. But then, I was like, all right, so what are we doing here? What are the rules? And they're like, all right, well, we do this thing, we get in character, and then we don't break character at all. We just stay in it the entire time. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll have to see, how this goes, because it's not really what I do on this podcast. It's not like a show. This is more like a conversational show, not a, character show or comedy show or anything like that. So we went into the other room, the control room, which is awesome at Atlas, and it was a great room to do this in. But we sat down, they put their masks on. They actually all put their masks on to sit down for the interview. And I referred to them by the color of their mask. I wanted to respect a certain degree of it. And I tried to ask them questions, but I mean, the problem is what I do is not, again, I'm not playing along with people's kind of personas here. I'm trying to get something real out of them. And you can't really do that when you got 4 dudes across from you, who are completely in character. So I tried to ask him some questions. I think the banter that they came up with was pretty funny. I don't necessarily think what I did was funny, but again, that's not my intention, to do a funny show. So, I don't know how I feel about this one. I think that through all of it, there are some very honest moments where you can hear him talking about some things that, even through the kind of facade of their characters, some kind of personal things cut through. I think people that like the band are really going to like it, because you get some of their humor and their banter out of it. I've never seen Mass Intruder live, but I've heard that they put on a great show. I really do dig their records. I had a chance, if you've been looking at the website, to see what I've been listening to. I've had a chance to listen to all their stuff over the last week or so. And it's really good music. So, I mean, I really wish these guys all the best. I think it's an interesting band. We'll see what everybody thinks about this. All right, let's get to it.
It starts out as like a spaghetti with meatballs thing, and then pretty soon it's like spaghetti without meatballs,
Yeah, no. They don't put enough meatballs in there.
So who plays what? What color is which?
Well, I am the singer, and Green and me both play guitar.
Yeah.
And Yellow plays bass, and Red plays the circles.
I play the circles, the drums.
The circles?
Yeah, they're made out of circles.
I didn't like spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's coming through, so I think we're good. I'm getting levels on everybody.
Tight.
So let's just start with where are you guys from?
Sure. Well, we I guess, from different places. The best way to put it would be that we're from prison.
We're from prison.
We met in prison.
Yeah.
What prison?
There's a lot of prisons.
Yeah, that's true, and we've done some
all
time
over
in
the
different
place.
ones. But I mean, as far as our hometown sort of thing, like right now we're holed up in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a beautiful place.
Oh, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah, very nice.
It's very cold right now, though.
It's cold.
Well, it's cold here, too.
College town,
That's
though.
true.
It's a college town there.
Yeah.
So you got lots of ladies that are like,
Real pretty.
yeah.
Oh, man, this is going to be a trip. All right, so when did you guys meet?
Well, the band formed like about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, we met in the Clink and sort of just started the band together there. So it's been about 3 years, but it feels like it's been
A lot longer
than that, because like we get along so well, know each other so well, or whatever.
Yeah. And we've been touring so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is always fun.
Yeah, it's true.
When did you guys record your first record? That was the First Offense, right?
Yeah, First Offense. Boy, when did we record that? I remember.
We did demo before that. We did a demo
That's true.
thing.
That's true. We did do a demo that we released on CD ourselves.
Yeah. But I don't know, like right around that same time.
But it
like,
wasn't much
right
longer,
after,
was it?
Right after the
Only a
band
couple
formed,
months or something.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
First Offense came out like right when we signed to Red Scare, because
Yeah,
it was
that's true.
released digitally on Red Scare. That was before the first full length record was released
August.
in August of 2012.
And that was on Red Scare, right?
That was on Red
Yeah.
Scare.
What was it like
initially.
working with Toby?
It was great. We still work with Toby quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We get along with that guy real well. He's a good friend of ours. The music business is pretty much like very comparable to sort of like crime, like organized crime. It's like the same sort of characters. Everybody's real shady, and there's a lot of backroom deals and sort of stuff. So it's easy. It's easy enough to get lost and not know who your friends are. Toby is like a really good friend of ours, so we still work with him. We love Toby. Working with Toby, Red Scare is an awesome label.
Yeah.
He's got such good taste on like what to put out. And he's always. You could pretty much bet that if Toby's putting out a record, that it's something you want to listen to.
Yeah. Now, how did you guys come across working with Toby?
We played a show actually with Nothington and the Cobra Skulls in Madison at the Frequency, and Toby was there with them. Got roped into doing merch or something for Cobra Skulls or Nothington, one of the two. But we met him there, and then we started talking to him a little bit. After that, about maybe doing something on Red Scare, which we were very excited about. Mm-hmm. And then it did end up happening, So then the first record came out on Red Scare, and then a little bit after that, Fat Records contacted him about licensing the record so that they would distribute it. So now it's licensed by Fat, so it's like a co-release sort of thing.
So the first record is co-released by Fat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What did they release? Like just vinyl, or what did they put out?
Vinyl.
Were they in the CDs?
In the CD.
CDs,
like nowadays, if you go buy a CD or the record, it's from Fat Records.
It's from Fat, not from Red
right.
Scare.
Like originally, the CD was was Red Scare CD, and if you had them, like you could see they're a little bit different because one of them says Fat Records and Red Scare on the back.
Okay.
And one of them just says Red Scare.
Got it. And then you guys recorded that here?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And how was it working with Matt?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was really cool.
He's a real master of his craft.
Yeah, that's true. He sure does know a lot about how to make stuff sound really cool. And it's interesting. It's like, recording is sort of mysterious. I don't think people understand how it works. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how magicians used to be, like back when wizards ruled the earth or whatever. I don't know exactly a lot about history, but, like back when, like, whatever, Merlin was probably like the first president of like medieval times or something.
That's right.
But like it's sort of like that sort of thing. It's like it's a lot of trade secrets and stuff. You don't understand how things work. You hear a record, and you never know what all goes into making it sound like that. But it's a lot. It takes a lot, and it's a constantly evolving art form. I think so. It takes a real, a real talent to. Keep making records that sound good.
Yeah, so like what you're saying is like Matt Allison is like the president of magic in medieval times.
Comparable to, to like a wizard.
All true.
But he doesn't have
I would definitely consider Matt Allison a wizard.
A little bit of a wizard, yeah.
He is.
Not like the basketball team though. like in Gauntlet, like that game, like where one of you.
Like the Harlem Globetrotters.
No, that's a different basketball team in the NBA.
Oh. Yeah, they're like the best NBA team, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the Harlem Globetrotters like sort of unchallenged, like best team.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't play it like regular team even. It's like it's just so easy for them. They like spin a ball on their elbow or whatever.
Yes, that's true.
All right, so how long did it take you guys to record the first album? Because some of those tracks you'd already recorded, right, for First Offense?
Yeah, that's true. And for the demo that we did. Yeah, some of the people that already knew the band at the time that the first record came out, there were several repeats on that record. You had How Do I Get to You, and I Don't Want to Be Alone Tonight. Was on a split that we did with the Turkletons, and Unrequited Love. And am I missing something else that was already released? Stick 'Em Up and Wish You Were Mine. So I think 5 songs on that record had already been released in some capacity or another. That record is definitely, like, those are the definitive versions of those songs, I think.
Yeah.
They sound a lot better on that record. And the vision, was more realized,
So you re-recorded everything for
absolutely.
those songs.
Yeah, there was nothing there was nothing on that record that wasn't from the recording session.
It took us, at least 100 minutes.
Yeah.
More than that,
More than 100 minutes.
I don't know how many minutes it
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, it was like, a decent amount of time. Like, we were here for a couple weeks as a whole band. And then were commuting back and forth between coming to record extra stuff and going back and doing, various jobs or whatever.
What kind of jobs are you guys doing?
Well, alleged jobs.
allegedly.
What is it? We
Is it
really,
careful? You gotta be
like.
careful about that.
Yeah,
but
we still had to make
work.
money back then, so you gotta do what you can.
You do whatever you can, like borrowing money from a liquor store,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a gas station. We always had a dream of striking it big in one of those quarter machines, like you see at a truck stop.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like they got the thing that's moving back and forth, and there's like a bunch of quarters down there. You can see all the quarters, and it's like maybe they're gonna come out if you put the one right quarter in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, not a lot of people don't notice, but you don't actually win all the quarters every time you play. Most of the time, it's like, it's real hard.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like someday
Skill
you might,
game.
so it's worth trying.
And you think
Yeah.
like, well, maybe I'm all out of quarters now. Maybe I'll just shake it real hard, and then those quarters will fall. But no, and then they got those things, like
Locked up pretty good.
yeah,
It's tough.
It's real tough.
So I listened to all the records. There's obviously a very heavy kind of oldies influence to what you guys are doing.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that come from?
The oldies.
Yeah, from old. I
Yeah.
mean, from we just love. I think classic, pop is it's like real good. There was
Okay,
a lot
so
of
like,
great-
what's your favorite acts?
one of our favorite? I think all of us. One of our favorites is the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we got a lot of classic pop influences, and nowadays I think that even stuff from the '80s counts as classic pop. Like
At this
Billy
point,
Joel
yeah,
and
it's
stuff. I mean,
30
Billy
years
Joel
old.
was kind of trying to do his own homage to classic pop, anyways. But yeah, I mean, Queen is a band that we are very much a big fan of, which I guess doesn't explain all these influence, but I mean,
But they're pretty old.
they're pretty old now.
Yeah.
Some of them are even dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Freddie Mercury, he's dead too.
Yeah, he's probably the only one, I think.
Yeah, but Leslie Gore is a big one that I like a lot, and Dion and the Belmonts. I mean, there was a whole sound at that time that just generally I think was an influence. It's almost hard to pinpoint all of the influences, but Motown acts and stuff like that's a
They knew
great
how to
stuff.
dance real good too. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's true.
That's one of my favorite
Aretha
things.
Franklin and stuff. That's good stuff.
So you got one on the EP, the First Offense EP. At the end of it, I think it's the last track, maybe.
Yeah, Wish You Were
Where you
Mine.
guys do an a cappella thing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever do that on stage? Do you do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every
but you
sh-
each have a
every
Pretty
mic
much
show
every
when you
night,
do it.
that's
Yeah.
a crowd favorite kind of. So
Yeah,
we
Wish You Were
play it a
Mine.
lot.
Pretty much.
I don't know if we've ever not played it really.
One of the highlights of our set, I think.
Yeah, and
people
it's a
like
fun song
hear.
to play.
It's true, and doing 3-part vocal harmonies live, like doing the acapella stuff, is fun, and it breaks up the thing a little bit because usually you don't see that so much at a punk rock show.
Definitely not.
It's cool to do stuff that people don't see every day because you want to do something that's entertaining. It's like when you saw Die Hard, you were like, "Whoa,"
Yeah, best movie ever.
Yeah, it was probably
Now, you guys should do a tour like that.
just
all a
acapella.
cappella.
Yeah, but here's another thing too: guitars, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're cool, and drums, and the bass, which is like a guitar.
Yeah, that's cool too. So we should go on tour.
It sounds.
Yellow's not talking a lot over here.
Yeah, that Yellow's pretty quiet though.
Yeah.
But it sounds acapella's cool, but it's not very rocking.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta mix it up. I think do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like you got to picture like you're making a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do when you make a sandwich? Just take a bunch of turkey, sandwich it between some turkey, put some turkey on there for dressing and like some nice
turkey gravy. Yeah.
But you don't know. Obviously that's not right. You gotta mix it up. You got some bread on there.
Yeah. Gotta
Like-
get your lettuce and chop up some onions if you want. It depends on what's in the house. You never know what people are gonna have lying around
Yeah,
when
it's
you
true.
get into
You
the
never
kitchen.
know when you get into a house
So
what exactly is
you look
there.
in the cupboards and you find some spices. Maybe you could put some mayo, spice up that mayo. Put some sriracha with that mayo.
But you got to check too the expiration dates too.
Oh yeah, you gotta do
Because
that.
you
Are you really
ruin-
that picky about the expiration date?
Well, I mean,
Not necessarily, but sometimes if you make a whole sandwich, and then you find out at the end that the mayo is bad, it's like now you got to throw the whole sandwich away.
Yeah.
or eat it.
Or you could eat it too.
Yeah.
And that's another option too. But you know, it could be gross that way.
Yeah.
So anyways, the whole point of that analogy is like, you know, same thing with a live show. You know, it's like with a live show, you definitely don't want to eat expired mayonnaise before you get on stage.
I thought the point was that Green makes a good sandwich.
Green is good. He's like a sandwich artist, but he doesn't work at Subway. And
Yeah. Sometimes he eats the bad mayo.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, but sometimes it's worth it, you know. It's like, it tastes real good and I'm hungry. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad.
Sometimes you eat Miracle Whip and you think that it's like turned mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's like an expression, right?
Is it different?
That's an
Sometimes you
expression.
eat the bad mayo.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty
As they
sure
say.
that's not a saying.
As
an
they
old saying.
say.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's not. I don't know.
I think somebody said that once.
But who's a you know, are you a professor of old sayings? You know, maybe they do say that and we just don't even know.
Maybe.
Know about
Exactly.
it.
It's like
So a lot of the songs are about the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guys' lady situation?
We like them. We're pro.
Yeah, ladies are great.
They're very beautiful. But
Are any of the
some
songs
are.
about particular ladies
particular
in your
girls?
lives?
No, you know, honestly, I don't think that we have any songs that are about one particular girl. It's more like, you know, sort of all
Yeah, it's
all
like
the
a
girls.
culmination over like all your experiences trying to meet ladies, and either you get turned down for like whatever reason.
Do you guys get turned down by a lot of ladies?
Yeah, most of the
Yeah.
time. Just really only when we put ourselves out there and approach them.
Are there times when you don't approach them?
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes you just want to like,
Yeah.
you know, hide and like watch them because you know you might, you got to try to figure out a good way to approach them, and you just want to watch them for a while, see like what they're like, see like the best angle. So you know you don't approach them, and
Yeah,
then,
like in that movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray or whatever, you know, it's like
Exactly.
he had like the whole day to do over again and you know, forever, so he could make Andy McDowell love him.
yeah. So you get to know them first.
You gotta know, what they like, because like some girls would like, want some chocolates. Some girls might be allergic to chocolate. I don't know. Is that a thing or?
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not, because that would be terrible to be allergic to chocolate.
It would be sad.
Yeah,
On Valentine's Day would be like deadly,
Yeah.
deadliest of all days.
Valentine's Day is very sad.
Chocolate's still good though.
That's
Yeah,
true.
chocolate shake, like a chocolate shake is good.
Yeah, that's the best solution if you're feeling blue on Valentine's Day.
Chocolate
is
shake.
Chocolate shake.
Okay. So, some of the songs about the ladies, some of them about some other nefarious incidents like ADT security, right?
Yeah,
you guys
right,
have some
right.
experience with that?
With ADT security, yeah, absolutely. Well, I think everybody's got their thing with like their job, like something about you, no matter what you do, it's like there's something that's like always chapping your ass,
And ADT security is what's always chapping your ass.
Yeah, it's one of the things.
Yeah, well,
Cops.
it's some people don't think about it. It's rude, basically like people trying to earn like an honest living, just taking some stuff from a house or whatever, and it's like you got the alarm, there going off, when they're just trying to do what we do. It's like, imagine somebody showing up to work at like the office, sit down at their desk, get themselves some coffee or whatever, got a nice day going, and all of a sudden, beep, 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 alarm, and
Yeah.
it's like, trying to sit down for the,
It's just like hard to work while that's
Yeah,
going on.
it's very
It's
difficult.
just rude.
and it's a discrimination thing. I feel like, alleged criminals are like sort of discriminated against, and people don't really take their interests into account very much with the decisions that they make.
Well, do you think there should be like a Criminals Rights Act then?
Yeah.
We actually fight for that cause. Well, it's not exactly criminals' rights, but
we think that crime should be legalized.
yeah,
Yeah.
Legalized crime is our sort of
it's a
political
bipartisan
But then it's not crime anymore.
issue.
I don't really follow you on
you
that
mean-
one. I don't really follow you.
We just think that crime should be legalized because,
Yeah.
like, why it's discriminatory, and it's it should be a bipartisan issue, really.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why it's illegal.
So new record. You guys are recording right now. You're
Yeah.
back in the studio with Matt Allison again. How long have you guys been here?
It's been about a month. We started at the beginning of January. That basically.
It's almost a month.
Yeah,
You guys been
just
going
about-
a month.
just
Are you guys
about a
almost
month.
done with it?
So it's like
Yeah, we're closing in on it. You know.
it's like 100 days or something, right? It's a lot.
Yeah.
Has this one coming out on Fat too?
It is. Yeah, this one's gonna be on Fat too.
All right. Well, what are the songs? Are we talking more love songs? What's going on this record?
Yeah, I don't think there will be a lot of surprises in terms of the themes. Based on if you're familiar with what we've done in the past, like we're still doing that same thing. We got a very specific thing that we do with a particular angle on love songs, and then a particular angle on other songs like about fighting the cops and stuff. So it'll be yeah, sort of in the same ballpark. But I think we've expanded a little bit. We're stretching out a little bit on this one in terms of kind of the lyrical content and the musical content as well.
Okay. And what got you guys started playing music in the first place?
Mostly-
before you guys ever met each other?
Yeah, I think I could speak for everyone when I say for me, it was like girls, basically. Like
But how did you learn?
learn how to play guitar.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty easy actually. You just sort of like fuck around with it for a while, and then especially if you grow up listening to punk rock, it's like
Yeah.
Misfit songs are pretty easy to kind of figure out. So you kind of learn how to play a power chord sort of thing, and then you just do that.
The hardest part is finding one that like matches your mask.
Yeah, that's the trickiest part about learning to play guitar.
So you need to have a guitar that matches your mask.
same color. Yeah.
That was kind of like the biggest, like hardest
Or
thing to
for
figure
Red,
out.
it was like difficult
Biggest
to find a
hurdle.
guitar that was drummers.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure that one out.
So you're just all self-taught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Parents
Oh, yeah.
play music.
I don't know.
I don't really know. I don't really know.
No, really.
What
no
was the
idea.
family situation with all you guys?
Broken,
Yeah,
not so good. But we're all mama's boys. I guess we all love our moms, but they don't play guitar. I mean, my mom doesn't play no guitar that I know of. I don't think so. She's a good
Yeah.
dancer though, professional dancer.
Your mom's a professional dancer?
All of our moms actually, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not really sure, but sometimes I think that lady might be my mom because she's old and a professional dancer.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just think that?
Yeah, like when I'm watching a professional dancer
Oh.
and she's old.
Green has a lot of,
I was going to say, but
Issues.
where are you when you're thinking this? Cause
Yeah, right. It's a weird thing to think when you're like, at a
just sitting
salad
right
bar
there.
at
It looks like
Wendy's
you
or
were
something.
thinking about it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I'm in the studio, I think about it.
Oh, my God. So back to new record. When's it coming out?
Well, there's
I don't think we really know yet.
no exact release date at this time. We know that it will be in the spring summertime.
Is this one coming out on Fat then?
Yeah, that's right.
And what's it like working with Mike?
Great. We just got to do a tour, some tour dates with No Effects, and we had a good time with those guys.
Yeah.
Fat Mike is a really cool dude. And the label, everybody that works for the label and makes the label happen is great. Erin Burkett, she is, she's great, and really, everybody that works there, the publicist Vanessa and and Tim and Bart and Chad, and like everybody that we work with at Fat is really cool. It's like a family sort of atmosphere a little bit. It's it's really run like an independent label and like close knit sort of friend, like handshake honor sort of thing. As opposed to like the way that major labels are run and stuff, and some of the like quote unquote indie labels I think that are more like run like more like major labels are run. And Fat is still very much like a indie label that cares a lot about the band and the whole family aspect of the thing. It's really great actually. It's been a lot of fun. They've been very good to us.
So what's it like going from your upbringing, your alleged status, and then you're playing on stage with No Effects?
Amazing, is the only real way to put it. It's like living a dream, you know? Just like living a dream, except that, you know, I'm not naked in class, and there's no girls making out with me.
Yeah. That's a good dream.
I think
It
Wayne's
keeps us
having that
out of
dream
trouble,
right now.
too, you know, like being on tour with bands like No
It actually
Effects.
keeps you out of trouble being
Well, I
on
mean,
tour.
yeah, you know, like it's easier to get away with certain things because you're in a different city every night.
Yeah.
And, you know, we get to eat like more, better food when we're touring with bigger bands like that and stuff.
Yeah, when you're in prison, you know, you don't eat very good. It's like, the food is pretty bad.
Prison burritos are pretty good, though.
Yeah, jailhouse burritos good.
Jailhouse burritos.
But that's not like on the menu. You got to make that, you know?
Yeah.
So, are you guys on the road after you're done recording, or what?
Yeah, not immediately. Around where the record is released, you know, more towards there. Once we get to spring, we're going to Australia. That's announced right now.
They're going to let you out of the country.
Well, I mean, you
let
know,
is a big word. It's not literally a big word. It's only like a couple of 4 letters or something. But
Yeah.
they send the chaperone, you know.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we
Officer
have
Bradford will
a
be with
police,
us.
a court-appointed
Probably.
chaperone, police officer of the law.
And they send that police officer to Australia with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Which-
not a bad gig.
No.
For who?
Yeah, exactly.
him?
For us.
But then you got to travel with a cop.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. But I heard that Australia is like a whole nation of criminals. So I figure we'll be like...
It's like heaven there.
Yeah.
It's like that movie with Ray Liotta where he's
Crocodile
on that.
Dundee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the one where he's on the prison island.
Yeah, I don't think it's all criminals
No, this
anymore.
was,
I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Goodfellas or No Escape. No Escape, that's what you
Oh,
think
that's
of.
the one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Liotta, I don't think was in Crocodile Dundee.
Prove it. Can you prove that, though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can watch the movie.
I don't.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I'm not really following you
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
your-
I don't
that's
know
your
about
opinion.
that. Yeah.
Was
I'm
Ray Liotta in every movie to you guys?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he was in Love Actually. That movie could have used some better acting.
He might have been in that
He should
movie.
have
There
been
was
in
a
that
lot of great actors in that movie. But you know, I like the acting in Love Actually.
I thought that movie was pretty stupid.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I mean, it
yeah.
was a good,
Yeah, but
like,
you
love
They
watched
story.
did
it.
make it seem a little easy
Look, yeah,
to fall in
too
love and
unrealistic.
stuff. You know, to get girls to like you. Yeah,
it would
was
be easy to fall in
unrealistic.
love if it wasn't
Unreal.
If they would remove the whole thing about love where it has to be, you know, 2 ways. You know, where both people feel
Yeah.
the same way.
Yeah,
That's the tricky part, you know.
It's getting both people to feel the same way.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what you're struggling for?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on the road, you watch movies like Love Actually. That's what you guys are doing.
I mean, you know, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
Before
you
you
know.
sit around and watch Love Actually.
Well, I mean, you know,
Some
kinda. I mean,
rom-coms.
we can't.
Yeah,
You know,
rom-coms.
We pawn all our TVs as soon as we get them. You know, so it's whatever. You know.
Yeah, that's true. But every once in a while, you end up with a VCR that you can't get it. You know, it's just you've got it, and nobody wants to buy it from you, and it works.
Yeah.
And so you got some tapes. You never know what you're gonna get. You know
Yeah.
what you end up with as far as VHSs are concerned,
Yeah.
or DVDs, or
Someti-
Blu-rays too.
Yeah. Sometimes it's Crocodile Dundee. Sometimes it's The Grinch, all starring Ray Liotta.
Yeah, it's one of those two.
true.
Usually.
Well, what's your favorite movie then?
Like
guys
for
all
me,
have
I
the
really
same
like
one.
scary movies.
You like scary movies?
Yeah, we really like scary movies like Police Academy. It's a terrifying one.
Yeah.
A lot of sequels to that one too. Or RoboCop is like a real good scary movie. It's like a robot that's like a cop, but he's like a half robot, but he's a half cop. No, he's an all cop, I think, but he's like half a robot and half a man.
Yeah. I never really got it, but I do know that it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Well, that's supposed to be about my hometown in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's a cool place.
You like Detroit? What do you like about Detroit?
All the crime.
Oh, you like that part of it.
Yeah.
We actually have some pretty great shows in Detroit. We have some fun playing there. We play at the Magic Stick Lounge a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. We like Detroit. We have good shows there, and I think there's good food there too.
Where'd
What's
you
like
guys
Detroit?
eat?
You're from Detroit.
Yeah,
What's like the Detroit food?
Coney Islands.
Yeah, see, I like chili dogs a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you could fit like a file in there too if it was like a foot long one.
That's true. Saw that in a movie.
It's a good topping.
I never got to do anything with it though.
So they're remaking RoboCop. How do you
Yeah, I
guys
know
feel
about
about that?
Well, it's hard to know if it's going to be
Being
as
it's one of
scary
your
as the
favorite
original
movies.
one. You know, maybe it's good. I haven't seen it yet.
It's definitely scary. I saw a preview for that. RoboCop can run in this one.
Yeah, and he can jump.
He couldn't run in the other one.
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
terrifying. That's so scary. It's gonna be the scariest movie
I know.
ever.
It's kind of like when they had, you know, all those slow zombies, and then they started making fast zombie movies.
Like World War Z.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
but this is way more terrifying.
Yeah, like cop zombies now
yeah,
that are robots. Robot cop zombies that run. It's like that.
Whoa,
Are you
what-
guys actually afraid of zombies, though, or are you just afraid
Not
of cops?
really.
No, but I
Only
know
if they're cops.
They're not
you
real,
know.
but cops are real.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why cops are so much scarier.
So a
in
robotic
movies.
cop is really scary to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because robots are real too.
That's true.
They're making robots now that like walk and talk.
Are they cops?
Like RoboCop.
I think there's
Yep.
gonna be, yeah.
No, that's terrifying. That's not real.
No, that's like a thing.
There was that document. There was a TV series documentary about robotics when we were kids. Small Wonder, I think it was called.
Oh yeah,
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. That was a good documentary as well too.
yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a documentary.
That's your opinion, you know. I'll give.
Yeah, but I don't trust you on that because you don't even think Ray Liotta was in Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm pretty sure he was Paul Hogan in that movie.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think you guys would have seen a lot of movies, though. I mean,
For sure.
movie theater seems like a good place to hang out all day.
Oh yeah,
It's a cool place to hang out, you know, and you get to watch movies in prison sometimes, you know.
yeah. Oh, you
And-
know, if you're hanging out at somebody's house,
Oh yeah. Check
you know,
out the movie
might
collection.
as well,
you know?
you know, watch a movie while you're there, while you're making a sandwich.
Yeah, like you ever seen Ben-Hur on Laserdisc?
Nope.
Me neither, but Laserdiscs are cool. They look like records, but they're like CDs or something.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie
It's
record.
like a record that's like a CD.
Yes.
Do you have a collection of laser discs?
No, but we've definitely had some, you know, in the past. Now you don't see those too often now. More like a collector's item, you know,
Yeah.
Laserdisc or whatever.
But now, are you just making sandwiches when you're in the house?
Usually that's Green Station.
Yeah, you know,
You're the cook.
we get hungry, so I want to do my part to be part of the team and make everybody some nice food. So you know, you gotta go in there and look at what's available, and you know, usually people got, you know, like bread and some stuff to put on it to make a good sandwich. So
Yeah, it depends on the time of the year too. What people
Oh,
got,
yeah.
you know, like around Christmas is a great time because
Oh,
people
it's a
put
great
out
time.
cookies and stuff. It's nice.
yeah,
You know?
plus you know,
My favorite is spaghetti sandwich.
yeah, that's true. Red loves spaghetti.
He likes breads. You like to eat this open faced spaghetti sandwich with no bread though,
Yeah, that's true.
which
That
I
one's
think
good
is
too.
really just spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's good.
Who makes the spaghetti? You make the spaghetti for him?
Red sometimes makes his own spaghetti. He just makes it with ketchup though.
Yeah,
Ketchup is good. It's red.
So you like just eating red food?
Yeah.
Not a lot of blue food.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, you're kind of screwed in that
It's
department.
Gatorade.
Yeah, Gatorade
popsicles.
and popsicles and Tootsie Roll Pops.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
That's but that's only 3 food groups.
Yeah.
It's not a very balanced diet, you know.
Yeah. Now, didn't you guys have previously a female member of the group, I hear?
No, we never actually had a female member. What we did have on the first record, though, we had a duet, like a little collaboration where we had Maura Weaver from Mixtapes come in and she sang on one of the songs, you know. And so sometimes people talk about the Intruder Pink, you know, but because like they was like, you know, she's pink because she's a girl or whatever. But she was never actually in a band. When we played a song live, you know, we get different girls to sing it with us. Sometimes like a random girl out of the audience. We've been lucky enough to have Maura do it with us live a few times at the last couple Gainesville fests.
Now, when she comes on stage, does she have to put a mask on?
Well, sometimes she did, sometimes she doesn't. It's ladies' choice.
You kind of let her do
whatever they want.
So you're very respectful to the ladies.
Yeah, they deserve very respect.
Yeah.
You know?
Really, we just want them to like us, so,
Love us, even.
love us is actually the term I should have used there. And,
You want all of them to love you?
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
pretty
the
ones.
pretty ones, yeah.
Just the pretty ones?
Yeah,
The other ones, too, but if they want, it's fine. But
yeah.
Well, what are the pretty ones to you guys?
a lot of girls are pretty,
Yeah.
There's, actresses are real beautiful, but regular girls are real beautiful, too. So...
What's your favorite actress?
That's a hard question, but I like Kirsten Dunst myself a lot. You know what I've been thinking about lately is just mostly all of the actresses are beautiful, and other ladies.
All of them?
Yeah, pretty much, It's almost like that's why they hire them or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, well.
I don't know what it takes to become an actress. I never applied. But you girls, we think are generally very beautiful.
So, album you don't have a release date for.
It's true.
It's coming out on Fat Records.
Yeah.
What's the plan after this record?
Well, we'll do probably a similar thing that we did with the first record, which was basically tour a lot in support of it, because we like being out there on the road playing shows for the good people. We have a lot of fun. The live show is a lot of fun. It's kind of something that we enjoy putting together and thinking about ways to make it surprising and sort of a good time for everybody. So that's what we'll do. We'll be out there taking the show on the road.
Yep.
Yeah, as much as possible in the U.S., Europe, Australia, who knows.
You guys got a plan to go to Europe soon?
It's in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were there last year in support of the first record, and we'll definitely be back this year for sure.
What was your favorite part of Europe?
That's a good question.
The girls.
Yeah, I would say the ladies.
Yeah.
For me, as far as the places were concerned, I really liked. We were in Rotterdam,
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
which is like in the Netherlands or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That place is really cool. Like quaint, and people smoke weed, like marijuana too.
Mm-hmm.
There it's like legal or whatever. We went into a coffee shop. We were trying to get some coffee, and they didn't even have coffee. It was just marijuana, jazz cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't know.
And pretty
I don't know where
girls.
anybody gets coffee there.
You
Still haven't
can't
figured
try
it
to
out.
get some coffee. You just get baked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which would you prefer?
I like a combo platter. I think.
Yeah.
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 You want to have a little bit of both,
Yeah.
usually.
Why just one, Let's
Well,
do
that's a
both.
great idea. Just lace some coffee with some weed.
That's a good idea.
Might be hard to drink, but
Just smoke that coffee.
Smoke the coffee and drink the weed. That would be weird. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe they got that in like Colorado now or Washington
Yeah.
because it's legal there.
You guys are okay with it being legal? I mean, I'd assume that you deal some drugs on the side here or there.
No, that's would be a good idea, I guess, but we never have done it.
Yeah.
I think we pretty
I mean,
much
Yellow's
covered
basically said nothing over here the entire time.
Yeah,
it. Yeah, usually you just smoke cigarettes, but like,
we don't smoke in the studio
yeah,
here.
there's no smoking in here, so.
Well, yeah, you don't want to smoke around the music gear.
Right.
No, you
true.
could ruin it.
Yeah.
And if you you smoke them, then it's worth less resale.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
Matt actually gave you guys a key to this place.
Yeah, I know, weird, right?
Very trusting.
I think he got tired of us busting in the door.
Yeah, for sure.
Went through a lot of doors there for a while.
Now, you guys have been staying here, though, too, right? It was
have,
nice
yeah.
enough to let you guys stay here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Somebody should talk to him about his decision making these days. I don't know if that was necessarily the smartest thing or whatever, but we're having a good time. We're definitely not going to steal nothing while we're using it to record.
Well,
that way,
then you wouldn't get your record done.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Thanks for talking to us, man.
Having us.
Keep on rocking in the United States.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
So that was weird, right? I don't know. We'll see what everybody thinks about it. again, I'm sorry if I wasn't funny. I don't think that's really what I was going into it to do, but I think that, again, those guys were very hospitable. And it was an interesting thing to go through. I don't know if I'll ever do an interview like that again. I'm debating what the validity of it is, but we'll see what people have to say about it. Anyway, I'm working on ramping up the release schedule for the podcast. I want to get it back to every week. The weather totally got in my way this week. It took me 9 hours to drive from Chicago to Detroit on Saturday. It was just brutal. And I was supposed to do a couple podcasts while I was back here, but that drive just killed everything for me this weekend. So hopefully I could get back and do those episodes. I do have one that I want to get done back in Chicago this week, and then I'm going to LA this weekend with my buddy Dave. I've got at least one, maybe two, maybe even three that I'm going to do while I'm out there. They're going to be really good ones, and I'm really looking forward to especially one of them. Again, I don't really want to announce who's coming on until I've actually got them done, because you never know what's going to get in the way. In the meantime, we could have Vortex number 5 or 6, whatever the hell we're on right now. But I'm really looking forward to what's going on. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a great run so far, and I'm really glad everybody's checking this out. All right, talk to you later.